I can now live on my own, and I don't need more people to be with me, so I can be relaxed. I can organize my time more efficiently, and I know what I want to do with my life now.
Aside from the important internal things, such as I feel a lot more sure of myself and the decisions I make, and I feel ready to take on life head on, I don't feel worried about anything that's going to come at me.
I'm probably being more outgoing, and I'm not as afraid to meet other people and speak up as I was before.
Just learning a whole new way of life and everything. And I've really benefited because now I've seen the chance of the importance of learning other cultures and going out into the world and just going and experiencing everything.
I think the most important thing I learned being an exchange student is diversity.
What do all of these people have in common? They were Rotary Youth Exchange students. They spent a year in another country, and they had the experience of a lifetime.
Well, I think being an exchange student sort of gave me the opportunity to discover more of who I am, to develop this sense of self-awareness and a sense of confidence that I never really had before. And being an exchange student really forced me to be sure of myself, to be determined, and to have the self-motivation to overcome any difficulties. So really, this exchange student was the opening or the beginning of who I am, really, I think.
Every year, more than 8,000 high school students from all over the world leave their families, friends, and schools behind for an adventure in a totally different culture, living with host families, attending a new school, and learning a new language. But it isn't all fun and games. Sometimes it's a lot of work, and there are ups and downs. But what kind of problems do students encounter, and how do they go about solving them? Sometimes it's making friends.
It is also difficult to be in a different culture and without your family, but it really helps if you have good friends here and the Rotarians and the family. So it's hard to be without your family at first, but it helps that everybody's around.
People are friendly to you. They will come up to you and be like, well, that's great, you're an exchange student, that's awesome, welcome. And so you're the new one, and you have to try to get to them and tell them, or they will experience how great you are. And I talked to my friends here, and they told me how much they learned from me, but they won't learn anything from you, and you won't learn anything from them if you don't go to them. And actually, you have to start it. That's a hard thing, but it will help you, and it will help you later in life, definitely.
It was really good that I started the cross-country team. Right the next day school started, I joined the team and just experienced how it was. And I made really good friends there, and I'm still friends with them, and we still hang out, although the cross-country season is over. But that really helped to join the after-school activities.
Sometimes it's adjusting to host families.
I had a jealous host sister, so that was really hard because she never talked to me, and it was really hard. She just ignored me, and I really tried to talk to her, but she was just answer like no, yes, and like was being really mean to me. But then in the beginning, I talked to her like what was the problem and stuff, and we solved it. So we got friends, and we're good friends now.
My host mom, who was working she'd work over every day, and she would go out shopping after we got home from school. And we would be out until maybe 9 or 10 or even 11 sometimes at night. Finally, just this one day, it hit me like, never again in my life will I ever be able to spend every day with my host mom, go to a Thai grocery store or Thai market with my Thai host mom and just connect with her and bond with her. So I ended up taking it as a chance to just grow and experience and bond with her. And her and I ended up becoming so close, and every day I was learning new Thai with her, and we were just laughing and having a great time. And ever since then, it was just great. I looked forward to it, and even if I got home at 12 at night sometimes, I'd still have a great time with her.
And always, it's about language.
I wasn't really good in English at the beginning, and I didn't really want to talk it. So it's why I'm saying that I think we all should try to talk with people. But I wasn't really good. I just take my time and I was listening, and with the time I learn and here I am.
It doesn't matter if you don't know the language, because somehow you learn it. The thing is, like, I dreamed in English after like 5 months, and that was the best experience for me, because now I don't always have to think about how do I translate it, or like how do I express the word or something, but because now it's just in my head and I just like talk about it.
I studied French in high school before leaving, so I had a minimal grasp on the language at least, and I read a little bit about it before I left. And where I was, there were people who could communicate in English, not fluently, and maybe couldn't understand me, but I was sure that I was very sure that with everyone, I told them that I wanted them to speak French with me, not English, because even if there were misunderstandings, it's better to overcome those in my new language than in English. That's part of the experience.
But successful exchanges aren't just a matter of luck. Rotary Youth Exchange students are carefully selected, as many as 10 months before they depart for their exchange. They go through extensive preparation in language, understanding cultural differences, and how to anticipate and deal with culture shock. They have orientation and training sessions before, during, and after their exchange year.
Most of us have a fairly good idea of what values are. Concepts like honesty, fairness, and the common good. Once we know that cultural differences exist, it's hard not to look for those differences as a way to understand the culture, rather than to automatically look for similarities.
I think the most difficult challenge I had to overcome was the basic culture shock and being away from my family for so long, because I was really close to my family. I had a boyfriend back in the United States, and I went into my exchange thinking that I would never experience culture shock, I would never experience homesickness, and I did right away. And I wanted to come home, like immediately. But I stuck it out, and I just listened to my family, you know, I listened to myself, and I stuck it out for 1 month at least. And after that, I opened my eyes to the place that I was in, and I learned to love this new culture and this opportunity that was given to me.
Each exchange has its unique challenges, and each student works hard to find effective ways to adapt and to grow.
Doing an exchange like this, it's really one of the most challenging and complex things that anybody our age could possibly get themselves into. And once we get there, you know, it throws us so far outside of our comfort zone than we could have ever even imagined before we got into it. And we have no choice really but to deal with it, and but to, you know, expand our boundaries and to work our way back into it. And by the time you've accomplished that, you just feel like you can conquer the world, and that once you've, you know, accomplish this one challenge, you want to take more challenges and accomplish them, because it's such a great feeling in the end to be able to do something like this and know that you can.
Once I was there, I realized I knew nothing. I mean, like, I didn't know how to say hello, I didn't know how to say help, I didn't know how to say anything in Thai, and so you had to learn very quickly how to accept the fact that not only was somebody providing for you, but they were going to show you and guide you. And it was people you didn't even know. You had to rely on them.
And besides learning about a new culture and making new friends, they all learn more about themselves.
Being an exchange student is probably the best thing I have done in my life. It's changed me, and I wouldn't probably be the same if I wouldn't have done it. And I'm really grateful for the people from Rotary.
And youth exchange students are living examples that demonstrate how barriers can be broken down and how we can build a more peaceful world, one exchange at a time.
I think it's amazing how similar exchange students are, how big the love between exchange students is, and how little we didn't know each other before, and now, I don't know, 2 amazing weeks, and I have friends all over the world that I love, and I feel like I know, and I can visit every time, so that's amazing. Somebody said I will never be German again, I will never be American, I will always just be an exchange student, and I think that's, I don't know, the right thing to say, and that's amazing.
And what advice do these students have if you're thinking about being a Rotary Youth Exchange student?
Don't be afraid, just do it. Like, you always have people like Rotary they'll help you. If you have any problems or anything, they'll help you out. So don't be afraid, just do it.
Well, I definitely would say do it, and go into this experience with an open mind and realize that there is no such thing as right or wrong, there's just different.
Do it, do it, do it, do it. You won't regret it. It's a very life-changing experience that you will always remember.
Just do it!
So if you're a high school student and you'd like to have the experience of a lifetime, contact your local Rotary Club. Contact Rotary International at www.rotary.org or email youthexchange@rotary.org and put yourself in this picture.